Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
And it's time to pour the wine. Pour it, pour it, pour it. It's been a long day.
What do we have today?
Well, we've been watching something, and we'll talk. Do you know that Christmas in July is only a few months away? Can you believe it?
Stop it.
No, I won't. I just won't stop it. It's coming up. It's what, April, May, June, three months away, less than 3 months away now.
I can't wait.
We're so close. I can't wait. You know, Hallmark
is going to come out
with some
serious
stuff. We should look that up. I'm sure there's some stuff coming. And speaking of Hallmark and Christmas, we've been watching Unwrapping Christmas.
Yes.
We watched the first movie. It's a series of 4 movies.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we're talking about today.
I know, right?
We watched Tina's Miracle, and that was pretty cute.
It was. I was pleasantly surprised.
That was pretty cute. And then the second one is Mia's Prince. We haven't finished that one. We started it, but we didn't finish it. But the lead in that one is Kiki. She's in that one. Jenna's also in them
Jenna's
as well.
in it too.
So, and I think some other actors.
You know what I
that
like
are
about
in Hearts Around the Table. So we're going to finish watching that, and then we'll watch Lily's Destiny and Olivia's Reunion.
Yes, but you know what I like about the Christmas ones?
What?
The music. It's just more like
I know.
Upbeat.
We just love Christmas.
A lot of music in them, you know?
Well, and just the holiday music and the festive, and we just love that. So we can watch that anytime.
Weather, snow.
Well, there was some of that going on in Tina's Miracle, that's for sure. Are you ready to dive in?
Sure, but make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode.
You don't want to miss it.
No, you don't. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can leave us a review. Hopefully, it's a positive 5-star review.
Yeah.
You can also like and follow us on social media. Right?
All the things, the Facebook, the Instagram. I almost said Twitter, but it's X. The X. It'll always be Twitter, right?
Tomatoes.
What do you do? Do you X? Is it X? Because you know how they used to call them tweets?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Threads. We're on Blue Sky. Find
Instagram.
us, follow us.
Oh, but before we get started, you want me to do a trivia?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, let's do another trivia.
A Hallmark trivia. Okay. So, in what year did Hallmark take over the religious network Odyssey and rename it Hallmark Channel?
Oh, I didn't know Hallmark Channel was a different channel.
Right? Yeah. Apparently.
Odyssey. I'm going to guess. Can I have a drum roll? I'm going to guess.
Joy to the world.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
I'm going to
movie.
guess 2011.
Ooh, you were close.
Oh, when was it?
It was 2001.
Oh, well, I was.
Hey, you were in this, almost the same decade.
In the 2000s. I was in the 2000s. I wasn't, Yeah,
that was pretty interesting, right?
2001?
And one.
Wow,
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so.
Pretty cool. So what are we reviewing today?
Okay, so today we're reviewing the 4th and final Hearts Around the Table movie, Kiki's Fourth Ingredient, that aired on Saturday, April 12th, 2025. If you missed it, you can catch it now on Hallmark Plus. Should we rank the 4 Hearts Around the Table movies at the end?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, we should. Yes. Yep. We'll rank them.
We'll rank them.
Rank them.
We'll cork them and then we'll rank them.
Cork it, rank it.
So tell us, who is in this one?
Who is in this one? Catherine Davis plays Kiki Mercer, one of Angie's fosters, and the lead in this particular movie, right?
Yes.
Kiki's fourth ingredient.
I know, right?
Her Hallmark credits include the 3 previous Hearts Around the Table movies, all 4 of the Unwrapping Christmas movies, which was in 2024, which we just discussed, Everything Puppies, and Welcome to Valentine. Those were in 2023, and A Christmas Carousel in 2020. She was also in another Christmas movie called The 6 Degrees of Santa with Steve Lund, who plays Andrew, in 2022, and that aired on Lifetime.
That's awesome.
I like her.
I know. She's really good.
I really like her.
And you said she was British, right?
She is British. You catch her accent just
See?
a
My
little
peoples?
bit and all your peoples. You're not British.
I know, I'm Scottish. Same.
It's not
almost
the same thing.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Torrance Combs, or is it Coombs? It's Coombs.
Ooh, I would say comb.
I don't know. Torrance Combs.
I'm not good with
I apologize,
names.
Torrance. He plays Clay Rutherford, Steve's best man, and possibly Kiki's love interest.
Possibly.
Maybe. You don't know. It's Hallmark.
Yeah.
For Hallmark, he was in all 4 Unwrapping Christmas movies in 2024.
Okay.
Romance in the Air in 2020, and Royally Ever After in 2018.
Sweet.
He was also in the TV series Rain, which I'd heard about, was really good. It aired on the CW. We didn't watch that.
Okay.
He was in 62 episodes.
Wow.
From 2013 to 2016.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
3
Mindy
years.
Cohn plays Angie Hartman. She's the foster mom. And of course, we
Yay.
always have to start Mindy with
The Facts of Life.
The Facts of Life. The Facts of Life aired from 1979 to 1988. And she played Natalie, who was this very bubbly personality. If you grew up in the 80s, you were watching The Facts of Life.
Yeah.
For sure, coming of age series about an all-girls boarding school.
That's awesome.
And my boyfriend was in it.
I know.
I have to say it every single time.
And you do.
George Clooney. He was on it for a couple dozen episodes as a carpenter. Aww. George. Mindy also voiced Nancy Francis in 35 episodes of the animated series The Kids in Room 402.
Okay.
She voiced Velma in the Scooby-Doo video games from 2002 to 2015.
Scooby-Doo.
And we most recently saw her in Palm Royale on Apple Plus, which is a really great series.
Another good series. Plus. Yes, I agree with you.
Ashley Newbrough plays Jenna Whitaker, one of Angie's fosters.
Okay.
Kiki's sister, Jenna. For Hallmark, she was in The Love Club in 2025.
The Love Club.
Unwrapping Christmas collection of 4 movies. Once again, we mentioned the Unwrapping Christmas in 2024. Operation Nutcracker in 2024. Love on the Right Course in 2024. Flipping for Christmas in 2023. Are you sick of me saying movies yet?
No.
Loving Glacier
going.
National, a National Park Romance in 2023. Christmas for Keeps in 2021. And The Love Small Town Christmas in 2018.
Huh.
She was also in a TV series called Mistresses on ABC.
Okay.
It might not be very Hallmark, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was good. From 2013 to 2014. And in another series called Privileged in 2008 and 2009, she was in 18 episodes. Michelle Morgan plays Sherry Adams, another one of Angie's fosters and another one of Kiki's sisters. She was Amanda Sinclair on The Young and the Restless from 2013 to 2024.
That's a good gig right
That's
there.
a good gig.
Yeah.
Her debut Hallmark movie was Christmas with a Kiss in 2023.
No.
No. Jake Epstein plays Josh Adler, one of Angie's fosters, and the brother of Kiki and Jenna and Sherry.
And guess what show he's in? The one we just watched. He's somebody's boyfriend.
He is in the Unwrapping Christmas movies in 2024. He's in 2 episodes of the Mistletoe Murders in 2024, which we have yet to watch. Yeah. He was in The Wedding Contract in 2023 and 8 Gifts of Hanukkah in 2021.
Oh, awesome.
He was in The Hardy Boys, 11 episodes of that series, Umbrella Academy in 2022. And he was in 13 episodes of Suits between 2017 and 2019.
Do I get to sing my song?
No, please don't. Please don't.
Greenback Boogie.
Oh, Greenback Boogie. We love that song. That's the Suits theme song. Steve Lund plays Andrew Clarington, Jenna's first love. His Hallmark credits include The Mistletoe Murders, 2 episodes in 2024, A Mrs. Miracle Christmas in 2021, The Christmas Cottage in 2017, and Christmas Incorporated in 2015.
All right.
He's been in several other Hallmark movies. He also, as I mentioned earlier, starred in 6 Degrees of Santa in 2022 with Catherine Davis, a.k.a. Kiki. He was in Schitt's Creek. 5 episodes of Schitt's Creek from 2016 to 2020. And he was in 1 episode of Suits.
Oh,
We see some recurring themes here with shows.
Greenback.
And he was,
Boogie.
his credit is attractive guy.
I told you
For Suits.
my.
That is
That's
that
what
would
I
have been
should be
your
doing.
role. He stole it.
Attractive
I
guy.
know. I'm going to have talk with Steve Lund about that.
All right.
Brendan Morgan plays Evan James, Sherry's boyfriend,
Okay.
and his first acting credit is from 2022.
Oh, man.
And for Hallmark, he was in a Jane Mysteries movie in 2024 and Christmas with a Kiss in 2023.
Sweet.
He was also in Meet Me Next Christmas in 2024 on Netflix, where he's racing through New York City to get tickets to the sold-out Pentatonics concert.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was
I
cute.
like that one.
Stephanie Bennett plays Ella Hawthorne, the English teacher who heads up the band and is also now Josh's girlfriend.
Yes.
Her Hallmark credits include His and Hers in 2024, Wedding Season in 2023, Christmas Class Reunion in 2022, The 9 Kittens of Christmas in 2021, The 9 Lives of Christmas in 2014.
There's a theme there. 9.
And her premiere on Hallmark was in 2014 on Signed, Sealed, Delivered. She was in 1 episode.
Huh. Okay.
Outside of Hallmark, she was on Travelers. That was something you watched.
Yes,
I never
I did.
watched that. 4 episodes in 2017 and 1 episode of Lucifer.
Lucifer. That was a good series, too.
Yeah. Eve Crawford plays Margaret Clarington. That's Andrew's mom.
Okay.
She has over 90 acting credits. Her Hallmark work includes Jenna's First Love. She was in the first,
Okay.
the Hearts Around the Table movie, and The Heiress and the Handyman in 2024. She was also in 1 episode of Suits in 2012.
Eat another bean pie.
And in movies, every time I mention it, you're going to give another part of the song.
Yes, I am. Until we get the whole song.
Other movies include Eloise at the Plaza in 2003, Mean Girls in 2004, and Serendipity in 2001.
Serendipity, our favorite Christmas.
Yes, one of our favorite
movies.
Christmas ones.
Yes.
Rick Amsbury plays Theo Whitaker, Jenna's dad.
Okay.
This is his Hallmark debut. He was in a movie called A Bluegrass Christmas in 2024. That was not on Hallmark. He was in a movie called Armed in 2024. And then there's a series called The Silent Service Season 1, which 7 episodes of that.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
Shohana Sharman plays Crystal. She is a friend of Clay's, and she is a chef. She has a handful of credits. It seems like, as far as I could tell, this was her debut Hallmark production. She was in a movie called Christmas in the Spotlight in 2024, which actually was loosely based on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
She was also in 1 episode of the TV series The Accused, which aired on Fox or airs on Fox. I'm not sure if that's still on or not.
Okay.
Millie Davis plays Gina Taylor, Angie's newest foster. Do we see her in this one?
Yes, briefly.
At the very end?
Her and Rory.
Yeah, at the very end,
briefly.
right? Okay.
Yes.
This is her Hallmark debut. She was in The Umbrella Academy, 6 episodes of that in 2024. And she actually is a voice in a lot of animated series. The Bravest Knight, 6 episodes of that in 2024, and that's on Hulu.
Okay.
Galapagos X, 26 episodes of that between 2023 and 2024, and that's a Canadian animated series.
Huh.
She's from Canada, so
Of course.
Makes sense.
A lot of people are from
Justice
Canada.
James plays Rory Nelson, Angie's current teen foster.
Mm-hmm.
He was in, let's see, Beyond. I would say this is his Hallmark debut, but his Hallmark debut was actually in the very first
Right.
Hearts Around the Table movie, Jenna's First Love.
Yeah.
That was his Hallmark debut. He was in a series called Beyond Black Beauty, 11 episodes in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Ruby and the Well, 1 episode in 2022. And he's done voices in several animated series, including Paw Patrol and Blue's Clues and You.
Blues Clues.
Jared Bronstein plays a sous chef. He has 9 acting credits. This is his Hallmark production debut.
Yay, good for him.
He was in a movie called Love's Match in 2021. and a TV series called Paranormal 911. He was in one episode of that in 2020.
Okay.
Christine Donato plays Michaela. This is her Hallmark debut. And she was in a movie called Holiday in Happy Hollow in 2024, Wrapped Up in Love in 2021, and she was in one episode of The Relic Hunter in 2002.
Okay.
This is a lot of characters, huh?
Debuts.
Yeah. Lynette Ware plays Cynthia, the adoption agent. For Hallmark, she was in Unwrapping Christmas, Mia's Prince, 2024, Two Turtle Doves in 2019. She was in several Christmas movies for other production companies.
Okay.
She was in a series, or it's a new series called Brilliant Minds. It premiered in 2024.
Okay.
I think about the doctor who has special.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't watch it, but I remember seeing the previews for that one. She was in a series called Hudson and Rex, 5 episodes, 2022 and 2023. And she was in one episode of The Sopranos in 2007.
Sopranos.
Yeah. Toni Elwan plays Martha, and she's sort of the head of the pantry, the food pantry in this. For Hallmark, she was in My Sweet Austrian Holiday, which we thought was really cute.
Yes,
that was in 2024. A Not So Royal Christmas in 2023. Christmas Festival of Ice in 2017. And then she was in 2 episodes of Tiny Pretty Things on Netflix in 2020. One episode of The Handmaid's Tale in 2017 and Warehouse 13 in 2011, which I really liked.
That was some characters.
That was the
there.
list, right? Well, I don't want to forget anybody.
No.
And of course, we don't mention every acting credit. We don't mention every Hallmark acting credit. There's just not enough time sometimes to do all that.
This podcast would be like 2 hours long.
But we like to give them their due, right? They work hard, even if they're in it briefly.
Yes, I think so. And you should have a sip of wine with that long list you just rattled off.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we are having a C&B Cartledge Brown Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about which one. Let me take a sip.
A vintage.
It's one that we like. It's
2022.
2022. It's inexpensive.
Yes, it is.
But we like it.
We like it. It's a good go-to wine if you're looking for something. So let's get back to this reviewing. So what did you think
You want me to drop the synopsis first?
Oh, you know what?
Too much wine?
Too much wine. Yes. Drop the synopsis.
Here we go. Kiki's 4th ingredient. Kiki is overjoyed, then overwhelmed when she agrees to cater a big wedding. She turns to Clay for support. Together, Kiki and Clay prove the best ingredient is love.
Love. Was that the 4th ingredient?
That was maybe. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, right? So what did you think?
I want you to go first. I want your
I thought I was supposed to drink the wine.
You just did.
Okay. All right.
It's my turn now.
I thought it was a pretty great finale to the 4-movie collection.
Yes.
I really did. I really liked the relationship between Kiki and Clay and thought their chemistry came across so naturally.
Yes.
I really, really liked that. I liked that they gave Kiki special moments / scenes with both sisters.
Yes, that was good.
Where she was giving advice or getting advice, but it's kind of that sisterly relationship. Mm-hmm. I just really love that we got great insight into Kiki, how she thinks she has to do the catering all on her own because it's her way of showing love to everyone. And, and she does it so much so to her own detriment. She loves to cook and she feels like people won't accept her if she doesn't get it done or doesn't do it on her own. And I really liked the way that, her interaction with Clay, like when he was telling her why he wouldn't want to cater the wedding.
Right.
He was just so kind and thoughtful throughout it. And that's part of what I really loved about their chemistry. Mm-hmm. She thinks she needs to please people. I also like the message that we miss so much of our lives, stressing, worrying, trying to be perfect or make it all work without help.
Yeah.
Instead of, you're kind of just existing, going through instead of actually living and enjoying the moment. And, I like at one point when Clay says to her, don't miss out on your own life. It's happening right now. Yeah. And that's very true. And we all do that. We all get so busy. But those were briefly what I thought. What about you?
Well, I kind of felt the same way. I loved their relationship and how it built, into what it became. But I also felt like it, like you said, she had a little moment with Sherry, and she had a little moment with Jenna, which I thought was, pretty cool because throughout the whole series, each series had a moment like that. And you pointed out in a couple of the podcast episodes prior to this one. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the food truck concept, hey, let's cater a wedding out of a food truck, cool. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, who does that, right? But food trucks are in right now.
Yep.
So, and I liked how they kind of wrapped it all up with the other episodes, how they brought it all together
at the very end when they were showing the scenes. Yeah, that was the cool part.
So that's
they
what
showed
I liked
scenes of all of them. Yeah, the flashback scenes were pretty cool.
And we'll hit on it a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
So, did you have any favorite scenes or?
Of course. I had a few. I thought the meet cute happening right at the beginning. I mean, that happens right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool because I was trying to think, I guess we see it a little bit. It happens sort of towards the beginning, but I mean, it was literally like right away. So I I enjoyed that scene. I really loved the dress shopping with the sisters.
Yes.
I just love that they showed their relationship. They were having fun. They were bantering. They were talking about the catering.
Yeah.
They're kind of, and then I was sitting there thinking, where is Angie? Like, are they not going to address? And then of course they addressed it.
Right.
They had her come on FaceTime. I was like, oh, there she is. So I shouldn't have doubted Hallmark, but I was like, seriously? Like Angie's not there? Angie, the glue, So I enjoyed that. I loved the cooking scene.
Yes.
Between Clay and Kiki. It was playful, fun. I loved the song that played during it. And then when they go to the food pantry.
Yes.
I thought that really worked really well. And when Kiki tells Clay, Martha is your Angie.
Yes.
Like her. And I thought that was pretty cool. Awesome. A great analogy. Yeah. What about you? Any favorite scenes now that I hogged them all up?
Yes. Yeah, you did hog them all up.
I did, I know.
I liked when Clay and Kiki, when Clay took her to Seven Basil and they cooked.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like they were having fun and it was like natural. And you had pointed something out about when they were cutting the pepper and it looked like they were kind of having problems cutting it, right? But you're a chef, you have sharp knives, so that really shouldn't be an issue. But he turns to her and says something like, "Are you having trouble?"
Yeah.
And then she kind of mouths like it wasn't supposed to be in the scene. It's not cutting.
It won't cut. I think she says something. She mouths it. What I love about that is that I think I would love to know if that was a mistake, but they put it in because it works because the look on her face is so genuine because she's trying to cut they're making this cool scene where they're cutting all this food up and she's laughing like it seems like a genuine, I can't believe this knife isn't cutting these vegetables and we're trying to shoot this. That's the way it looked.
That's exactly.
And he kind of went with it too and said, so I would love to know if that was an accidental wonderful mistake, that made it into the film. So I agree. I like that too.
And I too like the community food pantry scene.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. And like you said, Clay had opened up to Kiki about, how he came to the food pantry and how Martha took him in and made him feel welcome. And he met a lot of people there and how she did say that she's your Angie. And he was like, huh? And then she explained it to him and he was like, yeah, I guess you're right. She is.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. But I also liked when they were coming up with the food truck names or
that was during that scene too.
The Flavor Crusader.
Yeah. They were all good. The superhero, right? Superhero food truck names.
Yeah, and then Clay goes, Power Pies and Mighty Meals. But what was your favorite one? It was the Guardians.
You say it. It was Guardians.
Guardians of the Gourmet.
Guardians of the Gourmet. I thought that was cool.
That was really cool.
That was cool.
So yes, and the meet cute too. I liked that because it was right out of the gate, and I liked how after she left, he turned around and he was like, "Ooh, what smells so good?" And she told him
the cashier,
or whatever, she was
the
like,
owner, whatever.
yeah, that was chef. And she made these and dropped them off, and they were chocolate squash.
Something. Yeah.
And he bought some.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of,
it's pretty cool.
Kind of cool. So did you have any more favorite
No,
scenes?
that was, no, I listed my favorite ones.
Okay. All right. Well, then we're going to move on to biggest cheers.
Biggest cheer. You want me to go? You want to go?
I'll go first.
You go first. Oh, you're going to go. Yeah, you go first. Biggest cheer.
I liked it when Angie gives Jenna the box that her mom had.
Oh, yes.
When Jenna first showed up at the foster house, she came with a box, and a box of like clothes and some stuffed animals, but she also had a box that had jewelry in it. And you know, Angie didn't know that there was a picture in it, and the picture was of Jenna's mom and her dad when they were younger. And that started the whole thing about she wished her mom was alive and, you know, where's her dad series. But I kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know.
That's sweet.
I guess her father, Theo Whitaker. But yeah, that's my favorite cheer.
That's your favorite
or
cheer.
cheer, sorry.
Cheer.
Yeah, what was yours?
I had a few. One was the overall message about asking for, accepting help when you need it, because sometimes we all get stubborn about it and think it's a weakness when actually it's a strength. But you feel like you have to do everything on your own, especially women. You know, we have stuff to prove, or so we think.
Right.
And you know, with Kiki, it was the food. She's showing how much she loves someone with it, and if she gets help, she must not love them enough. And you know, the feeling of she was constantly sort of justifying the fact that she had a food truck and not a restaurant, not justifying, defensive, you know, about it. And so I like the overall message, like, yes, ask for help.
Yes.
Because people are willing to do it, and sometimes you need it, you know, and it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to do, but you have to do it. So that was probably my biggest cheer. Did you have any other cheers, or is that?
No, that was it for me. But just to jump off of yours, she felt like she had nothing to give, and making food, you know, growing up in the foster house was her way of giving back. And that's why she was so passionate about the cooking.
Right. So another cheer, I love that they made Clay's character kind and understanding and patient, and he just tried to, you know, build her up the whole time. Instead of bring her down. And I'm just glad they didn't have him be angry, you know, they didn't have a big fight or, you know, nothing like that. He gave constructive criticism and guidance, and his persistence to help her
all the time.
To help her. He was encouraging and showing her, you know, like when he showed her he has sous chefs to help out. And, you know, he didn't want to cater the wedding because he wanted to enjoy it. So that's why he had people helping him, or, you know, making the dinner and whatnot. And I just love the chemistry between the two of them.
Can we just mention the eyes?
On him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, they were piercing.
Yeah. And I also, the other big cheer would be the relationship between the sisters, which we've talked about. Yes. Just the one-on-ones, and then the three of them. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's good.
What about jeers? Did you have something that
I had a whole bunch of jeers.
You had a whole bunch?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Only because, I have to mention the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant?
Who was the third bridesmaid?
I know.
Why didn't they use Jenna?
Jenna was the bride.
No, I mean, not Jenna. Gina. Gina. Why didn't they use Gina?
I don't know. That's a really, you know, I didn't even think about that, because Gina was sitting in the chair
she was
next
sitting
to
with Rory.
So
Andrew's mom.
Yeah. I don't know who the third.
It was like
I didn't even think about Gina. You're right.
Yes, I was, and she wasn't even at the wedding dress try on. They could have brought her.
That's true too.
I don't know what happened there. What about you? Name one.
Because you have so many. Many. My biggest year, I have a few, but my biggest one would have been that it felt like a Jenna and a Kiki movie instead of just a Kiki movie.
Yes.
I feel like Jenna had her first movie, and it's nothing against the actress herself.
No.
It's nothing against her. It's just, I wish they'd either done like 5 movies where the last one is the wedding,
Yes.
or had the wedding be a smaller part in this one, because there was so much focus on Jenna and her family history and her dad coming and her relationship with Angie. I mean, I just felt like it was sort of halvesies, like, and I felt bad, Kiki, there was a lot with her, but I just felt like it was shared, and that wasn't really fair.
I felt
it was too prominent. The wedding, they could have had it in there, but had it just be a much smaller part.
Yes.
It could have been she's getting married. You could have shown clips of her getting upset, whatever, and then so. Yeah.
Well, that's a great segue to my next year.
Okay.
Which is this whole buildup about the food, right?
Yes.
And then in the end, we get something like a voiceover from Jenna.
Yes,
saying,
I agree with that.
Somebody said the food was great, and she said, "Yes, thanks, Kiki." I'm like, did they miss that? And they just voiced that in there? I don't know.
That's a really good point, because it was all about her trying to come up with a menu and deciding what she wanted to do, and and Kiki running into all these obstacles that were in front of her. And then she comes up with this great idea for this chicken, and then we never hear about, and then it was just like a voiceover. I don't know. It was, I guess you could argue that it was never really about the food, but it was,
right.
I don't know. So maybe that's why they went that route, but that's a good point.
You have another cheer?
The scene when Andrew's mom calls and Jenna gets upset because his mom says something like, "What about Jenna's family's traditions?" And she wasn't saying it rudely in a bad way. I think she was just saying it. She's like, "Are they being honored?" Because the mom is kind of like, I definitely want to dance with my son. I want the mother-son dance. And then, of course, they probably weren't going to do that because Jenna's parents aren't around. And, her mom has passed away and her dad isn't in her life or whatever. And Jenna's like, "I just need some air." And then the next scene, Andrew's calling Angie like, "Is the wedding off?" And I'm like, "What?"
I know. Like, where did that come from?
What do you mean? It was just so over dramatic. And I know it's Hallmark, but I just felt like, what did we miss? Did they cut out some big fight they had, know? And I just felt like we missed something. Did we miss some big blowout fight? Like, all she said was, "I need air." And he's like, "Is the wedding off?"
I know.
To Angie. And Angie's like, "No, this is more about her, less about you and your mom, and more about her and her family." So that would be a jeer. What about you? What's another one for you?
Well, my last one was, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, was the fact that Rory, Gina, and Ella, they weren't in it until the end of the movie. And I didn't understand that because all the other characters were there. So I don't know. Maybe they couldn't make I don't know.
Maybe they couldn't make the filming.
But that was a jeer for me.
Well, that was just the route they decided to go, I guess.
That's fine.
My final jeer would have been Theo, Jenna's dad, showing up at the rehearsal dinner. First of all, it's the rehearsal dinner.
Right.
Like, who would just come back into somebody's life after 15 years or 20 years or whatever it's been, and then be like, hey. And he's like, "Well, I'm here now." I just felt like that scene did not work. I'm your dad. I appreciated them trying to find him and all of that jazz, but I just felt like that scene, I don't know, it was just odd to me.
Oh, and that brings up another point, is when Angie went to the foster place, how did she find Jenna's records so fast? Like, it was in front. You mean
when Angie called?
Right.
She was on the phone,
years,
right? Yeah.
It was still in the front. Wouldn't that have been archived?
The adoption agent goes, "Let me find the file." "Oh, look, here it is." Yeah, it's like, right there. It's funny.
We tried to find her dad, but we couldn't find him. And then Angie found him in one scene.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, Google. Google's lovely. Well, she got the name at least.
Yes.
They couldn't find him. Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Well, in the adoption agency's defense, they probably, 20 years ago, you didn't have the resources that you have now.
Right.
So,
okay.
If they couldn't find, they probably tried for a little bit and then stopped and then never revisited it. Right. So maybe that's
fine.
And plus, she was grown up by that point.
She was all grown up.
She was an adult.
Okay.
An adult.
That's fine.
So, out of 5 corks. How many corks would you give the fourth and final installment?
Well, with all my jeers, I'm still going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 5.
You're going to give it a 5?
Yeah, I thought the acting was good.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I'm not going to ding the actors for some of the writing and scenes that, shouldn't have
we
been.
thought didn't work.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about you?
I would give it a 5 also. See? I think I really liked it. Yeah. I think I really liked it. Samers.
Yes.
Samers. So what did you think about the Hearts Around the Table collection in general?
As a whole?
As a whole.
Did you know, I really enjoyed it. Of the movie series that we've watched, this was one of my favorites. I just like how each episode kind of bled into the next one.
Right.
And in the last one, I love the scenes, the flashbacks to certain scenes in each of the episodes or movies. And it was always about love and family. And I, that's what I just loved it.
And with a collection like that, and they like to focus on one generally throughout each one, I thought it was really cool. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I love the whole theme of a non-traditional family becoming the traditional family.
Yes. With
traditional family, I don't want to say values in like a religious way, but just, they just, the Sunday suppers they have, they are just like any other family. They're as close as, and they consider each other siblings. And I loved that message, the fact that they put foster care and the kids and the adults in a positive light.
Yeah.
The negative stories are the ones that hit the news, and honestly, most TV shows or, movies, if it involves some fostering at some point, it's some terrible situation, the foster parent's abusive or the kids are just, terrible, and I don't know. I just like to see, I thought the positive spin on that was refreshing. Of course, I loved Mindy Cohn being, the foster mom, given her facts of life history. It's kind of like a full circle moment. She's the Mrs. Garrett from Facts of Life, who was the boarding school marm, so to speak. She was the one who rallied all the girls in that show. So I thought it was kind of cool. And of course, the Sunday suppers we've talked about, we do that with the kid. Well, we did for a long time when they were younger. Now it's harder because they're older and some are moved away and they're on vacation and whatnot. So it is harder. And of course, all the Angieisms.
Oh yeah.
All the little nuggets of wisdom that we got. So I really enjoyed the series as a whole. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And positive and
just a really great series.
Just a really great collection. Maybe we'll get more.
I would
love to see some more heart. And I love that she calls them her hearts.
I know.
I have another heart at the table, and I loved how they gathered people around the table. They would add people in.
They would always,
like Andrew's mom would come and Gina's grandma came and we need to talk about what's Sherry's boyfriend's name? Evan, how he was trying to fit in. So, he was having a hard time because they all knew each other. And you feel that too when you're introduced to a family and you're like, all you guys have such, a long history. And I really, and he finally got his moment, last? Yeah. In the third. By the way, Josh's third serving.
Mm-hmm.
What is that reference?
I don't know.
I haven't been able to figure that one out.
I just know he loved
Jenna's
food.
first love, we can get.
He loved to eat.
Sherry's second act, I understand.
Right.
Kiki's fourth ingredient. But what's the third serving?
I don't know.
I know they had to do 3 something, but I need to figure that out.
Because I have no idea.
But anyway. All right. Should we rank them in order of your favorite to least favorite? Although least favorite is not really... We like them all. Yeah. There's just a little degree of maybe a couple we like more. So how would you?
I would go with the first one, Jenna's First Love, as my number 1. Josh would be number 2. Kiki would be 3, and Sherry's would be 4. And the only reason I'm putting her as number 4 is I just didn't feel like their chemistry throughout the movie.
Right. We talked about that.
Yeah. I just did not like the other ones did.
I agree.
And I don't know why, because it was working so good at the beginning and then it just kind of faded out.
Yeah. I mean, I would rank them Jenna's First Love.
Okay.
Then I would say Kiki's fourth ingredient.
No, you went.
And
oh,
Josh's
okay.
third serving. And then Sherry's second act. And I agree with you. And I love the character of Sherry.
No, it wasn't
I mean,
because
I
of her.
loved her and I like Evan. And I just, and I wanted to see more of her. We saw more of her in the first 5 minutes of this fourth film than we saw of her in all of the third one.
Yes.
And I love her character.
I know she had a good,
so much.
She was a good character.
But yeah. So hopefully, I do hope we'll see more, whether it's more actors or actresses or whether they pop in again. I would love to see more.
Yeah, me too.
I think that would be great.
Yes.
So.
All right. Well, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap, I think.
All right.
What do you think?
Well, I think so.
That's a wrap for
Hearts Around the
Hearts
Table.
Around the Table. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, follow us on social media. If you really, really like the show and are listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, leave a positive 5-star review.
A positive 5-star. I like how you threw in the 5-star.
know, right?
Positive 5-star. Or just
And
positive.
if you didn't really, really like the show, you can still leave a positive
review.
5-star review.
Join us next Wednesday for our review of the Dayspring movie Journey to You, starring Erin Cahill and Eric Valdez. This will wrap up Hallmark's Spring into Love collection. It airs Saturday night, April 19th, 2025 on the Hallmark Channel and streams the next day on Hallmark Plus. You can also join us on Tuesdays for our reviews of Hallmark series. Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.